everyone and welcome back to my channel. If we haven't met before, hi, my name is Shiv. If you're coming back, then welcome. In today's video I have a sculpting tips kind of video, how to create that sculpted look using the beautiful Meroda Cosmetics bronzing sticks. I used a couple of shades of these. I'm going to swatch them and go through them, but also give you some tips and tricks on how to create the really sculpted and kind of lifted appearance to the skin without it being too heavy, and it's also very easy to do. So if you would like to learn about that and see me trying the bronzer sticks in action, then please carry on watching. But before we carry on watching, I'd like to give a big thank you to Meroda Cosmetics for partnering with me on this video. All thoughts, feelings, opinions and emotions of course are my own. However, they have kindly partnered with me on this video to show you some sculpting tips using their bronzer sticks. So if you'd like to see how to sculpt the face, then please just carry on watching. Right, let's talk sculpting. So I want to feel like a sculpted, gorgeous goddess this autumn winter, and there's no better way to do that than using cream bronzer sticks. I have all 4 shades of the soft tan bronzer sticks from Meroda Cosmetics, which look absolutely beautiful, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to sculpt my face from this to this. Then just please carry on watching. So before we get into this, I'm going to show you the different shade selections from the bronzer sticks. They range from light all the way to deep, and I'm going to go ahead and show you these now. This clip is going to be from my phone just so you can see these shades up a little closer. So first we have the shade light right here, which I'm going to use to sculpt the face today. We then have the shade medium right here, which I'm also going to use to sculpt the face today, because the best artistry always contains more than 1 or 2 shades. We then have this shade right here, which is called dark, which has a beautiful warmth to it. And finally we have the shade deep, which is absolutely beautiful for deeper skin tones. When swatching these, I found they are super creamy, so I can't wait to play with them and get them on my face. So to do this, I'm actually going to take the Meroda Cosmetics 2-in-1 brush and take this angular kind of synthetic brush. Any brush that's kind of similar to this will be absolutely perfect for this. And I'm going to go in with the shade light. So I'm starting with the shade light, and I'm going to use this to sculpt my nose area. I'm taking it on the tip of the 2-in-1 foundation brush from Meroda Cosmetics. I'm going to use the side of the brush to pull down on my nose, just to help kind of slenderize the nose just a little bit. My nose goes out a little bit in the center of the bridge, so I like to try and make this as even as possible with a little extra shading in the middle of the nose. Taking that around the nostril as well for some extra shaping. And I'm going to use the other angle of the brush to pull into my brow bone for a really cohesive sculpted look. And of course repeat on the other side. And just repeating that on the other side. Loving how creamy these bronzer sticks are. They're super easy to blend. Okay, and then for a sculpted lip appearance, we're going to go right underneath that lip. I'm now going to go in with the shade medium. We are going to go in a very old school shape, which is a 3 shape on the outer perimeter of the face to create a really nice sculpted look. And don't forget under the chin. So now we're looking a little bit crazy. We're going to go ahead and blend this all out. Going back into my Meroda Cosmetics 2-in-1 brush and taking the flat side, I'm going to use this to blend out that cream bronzer. Starting with underneath the jaw. And this is really going to help to remove that kind of double chin effect and just give your face a lot more shape and structure, especially when it comes to taking photos and things like that as well. And blend out underneath the jaw area for a more sharp and sculpted jaw. This looks amazing in photos. Oh my god, these are super easy to blend. Wow, they're so creamy. I have the Meroda changing foundation underneath, and they're blending in together so nicely. Blend out underneath that lip. You blend the cheek in upward motions. And then blending out the temple. just blend out the side of the nose. I'm just using the side of the brush to do this. And this is what we're looking like. One side has the soft tan bronzer stick all blended out, and this of course is unblended. This has created a really, really beautiful glow to the skin. We are still going to sculpt even further though. And that is the soft tan bronzer stick applied and blended out. It's created a really, really nice bronzed, sculpted kind of look, but we can of course take this one step further. To note, my camera is slightly overexposed, but this is looking really beautiful in bronze. We are going to up the amp even further though by using a concealer. And I'm going to teach you some tricks to take your sculpting to the next level. So taking any concealer, what you're going to go ahead and do is take the concealer wand and essentially reverse contour where you put the sculpt. So of course I always start by going around the eye area. I'll pop it right on that inner corner, bring it all the way down, following where we originally put that nose kind of contour slash bronzer, and then bring the concealer across, take it all the way through, and then pull out from the outer corner of your eye towards your brow. This is going to create a really, really highlighted and sculpted look. Do not be afraid to put on lots of concealer. Of course, it is all down to application rather than layering multiple and many products. However, just don't be afraid to put on the concealer if you feel like it will help you achieve the look that you want to achieve. So I'm taking this concealer again, other side, all the way down the kind of side of the bridge of my nose, pulling that in all the way underneath the eye, and then pulling the eye up to lift the eye area. I'm then going to take the concealer and go down the centre of the nose, the little dot on the end. This is just how personally I like to kind of highlight my nose area, but your nose shape may be different to this. So everyone's noses are going to be slightly different. You may have a very skinny nose, in which case you may not want to put such a teeny tiny line down the front because that would make it look even more of a thinner nose, or you would have the opposite where you don't put too much concealer on and widen your nose. Just adjust to whatever you feel like would work best for you. Essentially, where you lighten the skin is where it will look bigger, and where you darken the skin is where it will look like it's sunken in and kind of hit by shadows. I like to apply a little bit of concealer onto the forehead, not too much. I've been applying less concealer on my forehead recently, and I do definitely still put quite a lot of this on all around my chin area where I get my hormonal kind of texture. And then this is where the sculpting comes into play. Take your concealer and wipe off a little bit of the excess on the wand, and use this to pull down the cheek like that, and do it the other side as well. And essentially what you're doing is reverse contouring to highlight that underneath that shadow that you have created. Trust the process, guys. And I'm going to take a beauty sponge of choice, whatever is your favorite beauty sponge. It really doesn't matter too much. Try and squeeze out the excess as much as you can. I may have wet mine a little bit too much. And then we're just going to start blending out this concealer. Start from the area that you care less about, because as you work your way around your face, the concealer will dry down. So you want to really start from where you don't really care if it has as much coverage. So for me, that's my forehead. Blending that out with the rest of the makeup. Then I'm going to take that down the nose as well, kind of pinching the sponge to really blend that together. And of course underneath the eyes, using the sponge and the guide to blend upwards. On the chin area. And then for the best part, which is the cream kind of cheek highlight area. So take the sponge and start blending out on the widest part just so you can get the most control. And then just slowly bring it into where you've put that line and slowly diffuse it, and just watch the magic happen. See that already? That's actually crazy. Of course that line is very enhanced for sure, so you can definitely adapt this to make it look a little bit more natural. I'm now going to start tapping over that line, which is going to make it look a little bit more natural than before, and just keep blending until you get your desired result. Then what you will go ahead and do is take the pointy side of your sponge, or just squeeze it together if you don't have a pointy side, and use this to really carefully blend out that inner corner highlight and concealer. Just tap that down the side of the nose to blend that out. And then just dab over essentially your entire face, just smoothing out any kind of lines that you may have missed, making sure everything looks really seamless but still sculpted. I think my face looks a lot more lifted and sculpted, but I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back to kind of talk you through the results. So I am back with the rest of my makeup on, and this is the final result, using the Meroda Cosmetics sticks to create this really sculpted and lifted effect to my skin. I absolutely love the sticks. They're super creamy and easy to blend, and they sit on the skin so nicely. There's sometimes that I use bronzer sticks that go really patchy. These do not do that. So I'm super happy with the results, and I really love these bronzer sticks. They're absolutely perfect. There's 4 shades available for many different skin tones, so I'd highly recommend you checking them out. I'll have everything listed. I will have everything listed in the description box down below for you to check out, including a discount code, which is super exciting, which you can use across all of Meroda Cosmetics' website, and all of the details will be listed in the description box down below as well as their social handles and my handles, so definitely go ahead and check that out. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed watching this video and you've learned some tips and tricks along the way. I think what's really important to note when it comes to like sculpting your features is just tailoring it to you and what you like to kind of achieve from your makeup application. For me, for example, I've got a fairly larger forehead. I can fit a full good amount of fingers on there, so I kind of like to bronze the top of my forehead to like shrink it down a little bit. Of course, underneath the cheekbones, I think most people would love a kind of enhanced cheekbone, and I do the little kind of like pouch underneath my chin just to give it that really nice sculpted look. But of course you can tailor it to your face shape and how you want to do your makeup. So yeah, I definitely recommend checking out the bronzer sticks. They are absolutely beautiful, so easy to blend, and the packaging is gorgeous. They've got a really nice weight to them and they feel very luxurious. And thank you to Meroda Cosmetics for partnering with me again on another video. It's been really amazing working with Meroda Cosmetics across probably the past like 6 months to a year, maybe even longer if I get my facts straight. They are such an amazing brand. Their products are such good quality. Even just look at the setting spray that I have, like it's literally like halfway full. I have a lot of makeup, so it takes me a while to really get through products, so this is a really good sign, and I would highly recommend trying them out for your makeup routine. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you're alerted when I upload a new video, and go ahead and follow me on my social media pages. I'm shivonmakeupbiz across all platforms. It's the same handle across all of them. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I shall see you in my next video. Bye. I have all 4 shades of the soft tan bronzer sticks. Cosmetics for partnering with me. See, it was a